The silent theft of your child's soul, how screens are replacing parents, and how to take it back. When parents outsource fatherhood and motherhood, someone else raises your bloodline. Imagine walking into a home where two small children sit motionless, eyes wide, mouth slightly open, bathed in the cold blue glow of a tablet that never blinks. That scene is now so common, most people don't even register it as strange. Yet if you pause for just 1 second and really look, you'll realize something chilling. The parents are physically present in the house, but they've essentially vanished from their children's lives. The room might as well be empty. Remember when a child's world was bounded by the reach of their parents' voices? If father had to chop wood for the winter or repair the roof, the boy was handed a small hatchet and told, "Start stacking beside me." If mother walked to the river to wash clothes, her children carried the smaller basket and learned which stones were best for scrubbing. There was no third option, no glowing rectangle waiting in the corner to swallow the hours. Children were not parked. They were apprentices, adults in training. Their imaginations were not dead. They were on fire because every sight, sound, and smell came straight from the people whose blood ran in their veins. It's not a coincidence that the moment parenting became optional, childhood began to disappear. The average American child now spends more waking hours with screens than with both parents combined. By age 7, most have already logged more time under the influence of YouTube algorithms than their grandparents spent talking to their own fathers in an entire lifetime. We told ourselves these devices were tools, harmless, pacifiers that bought us a moment of peace. But tools do not raise children, people do. And when the people step away, something else eagerly steps in. Friedrich Nietzsche warned us over a century ago, in the absence of masters, the slaves will invent new ones. Today, the new masters arrive pre-installed, speaking in cartoon voices, wearing bright colors, and never once asking the child to look up at the sky or into their father's eyes. The child who spends years marinating in that artificial light does not grow into a unique soul. He grows into a composite character stitched together from whichever influences shouted loudest. His accent, his humor, his sense of what is cool or cruel, it all belongs to strangers who have never changed his diaper, never held him through a fever, never once loved him. The fight to survive, the raw instinct that once pulsed through every generation of mankind, is quietly suffocated inside that soft glow of a 7-inch screen. History shows this pattern before. When Rome outsourced the education of its elite sons to Greek slaves and the streets filled with bread and circuses, the old Roman character, the one that conquered the world, dissolved within 2 generations. The boy grew up fluent in rhetoric, but weak in virtue. They could quote Homer while watching men die in the arena for sport. We are repeating the experiment at warp speed, except our arena is infinite and fits in the palm of a hand. So what's the way back? It's actually quite simple, and that's the reason why almost no one does it. Be there. Not in bursts of performative quality time, scheduled between meetings, but instead in the long, ordinary, unglamorous years when nothing cinematic is happening. Carry them with you when you work, when you cook, when you walk the dog at dusk. Let them get bored beside you. Let them ask 1,000 questions you don't feel like answering. Speak to them the way men and women once spoke to the next generation around cooking fires. Tell them the stories that actually happened, the mistakes you made, the things that you still don't understand. Don't fear the friction of raising them. Fear the silence that settles in when you stop trying. Do this consistently and something uncanny happens. You'll begin to meet your own children for the very first time, and they, in turn, will meet you. They will imitate your gait, your laugh, the way you pause before answering a hard question. They will become unmistakably yours, not because you forced it, but because nature abhors a vacuum and you finally refuse to leave one. Artificial intelligence has already shown us it's growing more and more clever, enough to imitate a parent's voice, to tell bedtime stories, to quiz spelling words with infinite patience. Lawmakers are already debating whether an AI companion counts as supervision. Some exhausted parents will welcome it like a gift from heaven. Resist that temptation with every fiber you have left, because the day you let a machine stand in your place is the day your bloodline quietly ends. As I speak, headlines are screaming about another round of layoffs, tens of thousands of highly paid engineers suddenly discovering that the algorithms they built no longer need them either. There is a bitter poetry in that. The same parents who outsourced their children are now being outsourced by their own creations. Raise your children with your own hands, your own voice, your own limited and imperfect presence. Do it deliberately, day after day, until the habit becomes the man. Because if you don't, someone else will, and they will never love your children the way you were meant to. As always, live deliberately.